is the number of elements in a sample space of tossing a coin and rolling a dice. As you know that tossing a coin, we have H and T, so we have 2, so it will be 2 times rolling a dice. You know that we have 6 faces in the dice, so it will be 2 times 6, which equals 12. So the answer is D. How many elements in a sample space? Outcomes of drawing 2 cards with replacement from a deck of cards number from 1 to 10. As you know that the number of the first possible outcomes are 10. So the first one, it will be 10. And also the second one, it will be 10. Okay? Because this is with replacement. So it will be 10 times 10, which equals 100. So the answer is B. Find the area of the triangle at the right. As you know that the area of the triangle equals half times base times height. And also if we have a triangle like ABC, like this triangle ABC, and A small, which is opposite to the vertex, which is A capital, and we have B and C. Also the area equals half times the two sides C and B sine the included angle, which is A. Also this is equals half times A times C sine the included angle, which is B. Also this is equals half times A times C times A times B times sine the included angle, which is C. So if we have two sides and included angle, so we can find the area of the triangle. In this triangle we have BC, which equals 10, and AC, which equals 20, and the included angle, its measure, equals 60. So the area of the triangle equals half times 10 times 20 times sine 60. So half 10 equals 5 times 20 times sine 60, which equals root 3 over 2. Also we can simplify, divided 2 equals 1, divided 2 equals 10. So the answer, it will be 5 times 10, which equals 50 root 3. So the answer is C. Shows that the polynomial has 4 real roots. In this question we will just search for a graph that has 4 x-intercepts. So if you check A, you have 1, 2, only 2, not 4 real roots. B, we have 1, 2, 3. C, we have 1, 2, 3. And D, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So the answer is D. Analyze the graph to determine the type of the function. As you know that if we have a graph like that, and the y-axis divided the graph into 2 congruent parts, so this is an even function. Also this one is even function. Okay, but if we have the coordinate, the point of the origin, this is the point of reflection or the point of congruency, like this graph, this is odd function. So in this question, this is an even function, so the answer is B. When x tends to infinity, 12x power 5 minus 7 over 3x power 5 plus 2x squared minus 7x. When x tends to infinity, if we have a question like that, limit x tends to infinity, just check the highest power of the numerator and the denominator. Okay, if the numerator, the power of the numerator is greater than the denominator, so the answer is infinity. Okay, if the numerator smaller than the denominator, the answer is 0. But if the numerator equals the degree of the denominator equals the degree of the denominator, like this question, just check the coefficients of the highest power for both the numerator and the denominator, which is 12 over 3. 12 divided by 3 equals 4, so the answer is B. This question, we want to evaluate the integration from 2 to 3 for 6x plus 1 by dx. As you know that we add 1 to the power, so it will be 6x squared divided by the new power, and you know that the integration for the number like 1 is x. Okay, this is from 2 to 3. Then we will substitute for x3 minus 2, just put two brackets like that. Put x equals 3 at the first one, so it will be 3 squared, which is 9. 9 times 6 divided by 2, it means 9 times 3, which is 27, plus x, which equals 3, minus the same. By the way, we can simplify, so it will be 3 times 4, which equals 12. 12 plus 2, which equals 14, so it will be 30 minus 14, which equals 16. So the final answer, it will be 16, which is B. Use the figure to determine the incorrect angle measurement. We have angles 1, 2, 3, and 4, and we have an angle of measure 50, and this one is 110, and we have an exterior angle, its measure equals 135. How can we start, or how can we find the first angle? First of all, you have this angle measures 110, and this angle measures 4, and both angles are supplementary. So the sum equals 180, it means the measure of angle 4 equals 180 minus 110, which equals 70. So measure of angle 4 equals 70. In this triangle, we have this angle measures 70 and this one equals 50, and as you know that the sum of measures of the interior angles of any triangle equals 180. So we can find the measure of angle 3. Measure of angle 3, it will be 180 minus the sum of 50 and 70. So it will be 180 minus 120, which equals 60. So measure of angle 3 equals 60, and the answers we have measure of angle 3 equals 65. So the measure of angle 3, this is incorrect, so the answer is C. Find the measure of angle C. You want to find the measure of this angle. You know that this is a semicircle. If you have a circle like that, and we have a diameter, and you know that the diameter is any line segment joined between any 2 points on the circle and passing through the center of the circle. So this angle is called the angle of the semicircle. Angle line lies on the circumference of the circle or on the circle. So this angle always measures 90. You can draw it here also. This angle measures 90. So measure of angle C equals 90, so the answer is C. Okay, if two triangles are similar, then find the length of AC or X. Okay, as you know that we have two triangles. Okay, so the angle of measure 30, which is G. Second. Is opposite to the angle of measure 30 in the second triangle, which is C. And also we have the obtuse angle, which is E, opposite to the obtuse angle in the other triangle, which is A. And the third vertex, which is F, is corresponding to B. Now we have this triangle similar to this one. Now we can write down the sides. As you know that the opposite sides or the corresponding sides are proportional. So GE over first and second, CA, equals EF over AB equals the first and the third GF over CB. So GE, its length equals 10 over CA, which equals X. This is equals EF, which is 8 over AB, which equals 12. Now we can use cross multiplication to find the value of X. So X equals 10 times 12 over 8 divided by 2 equals 5, divided by 2 equals 4, divided 4 equals 1, divided 4 equals 3, so it will be 5 times 3, which equals 15. So the length of side AC, which is denoted by X, is 15, so the answer is C. This question, we want to find the length of X. We have this side equals 10 and this side equals 22, and both are equal, both parts are equal in both sides, so we know that X equals the sum of the other two sides divided by 2. Okay, so 2x equals 10 plus 22, which equals 32, divided both sides by 2, it means x equals 16, so the answer is D. Another question, find x. We have this side is 3x plus 2, this side is 4x plus 2, and this side is 12. So we can answer this question by two ways. We have 4x plus 2. This is equal to the sum of the other two sides divided by 2. Okay, then I will complete it to answer. We have another method to answer. The first side is 3x plus 2, and the second one it will be 4x plus 2. So logic, the third one it will be 5x plus 2. This is equals 12. It means 5x by subtracting 2 from both sides equals 10, so x equals 2, so the answer is C. Image of the point 6 and 2 for the translation: 3 units to right and 4 units down. You know that if we have a point like that, 6 and 2, and we want to translate this point 3 units to right, it means 3 units to the positive direction, so we will add 3. So it will be 6 plus 3, and 4 units down, it means 4 units in the negative direction, so we will subtract 4, it will be minus 4. Okay, so 6 plus 3, which equals 9, and 2 minus 4, which equals negative 2. So the answer is 9 and negative 2, which is A. The function, we have f of x equals x power 6 plus 2x power 4 plus 3x squared plus 5. So we have all of the variables with an even power. I know, so logic it will be an even function, but we can check the answer. So find f of negative x. It will be negative x raised to the power of 6 plus 2 times negative x raised to the power of 4 plus 3 times negative x raised to the power of 2 plus 5. If you have an even power, it means we will cancel the negative sign. So it will be x power 6 plus 2x power 4 plus 3x squared plus 5. This is the same like the original function, so this is an even function, so the answer is B. 1 and 3 and b equals 2 and 4. Find 2b minus a. Just multiply 2 times b, which is 2 and 4. This is minus a. So it will be 2 times 2, which equals 4, and 2 times 4, which equals 8. This is minus 1 and 3. So 4 minus 1, which equals 3, and 8 minus 3, which equals 5. So the answer is 3 and 5, which is B. In this question, we have f of x equals 3x squared plus 4x. We want to find f of 2, and we want to find f of negative a. For a, we want to find f of 2. So f of 2 equals 3 times 2 squared plus 4 times 2. 3 times 2 squared, it means 3 times 4, which equals 12, plus 8, which equals 20. So A is 20. For B, we want to find f of negative a, so we will plug in a, negative a for x, so it will be 3 times negative a squared plus 4 times negative a. As you know that we will cancel the negative sign because we have an even power, so it will be 3a squared minus 4a. Of the hyperbola of y minus 3 all squared over 49 minus x plus 5 all squared over 36, this is equals 1. How can we find it? We have in this question h, which equals negative 5, and we have k, which equals 3. And as you know that the center is h and k, so the answer is negative 5 and 3. So the answer is D. Find x in the adjacent triangle. We have this angle 3x and this one is 45, and we have an isosceles triangle. As you know that if you have an isosceles triangle like this triangle, two sides are equal and the two base angles are equal. So in this triangle we have two sides are equal, so 45 equals 3x. So we have 3x equals 45, divided both sides by 3, so x equals 15. So the answer is C. Common ratio of the geometric sequence 2, negative 6, 18, and negative 54. As you know that if we have a geometric sequence, we will just divide a term divided by the previous one. So to find the common ratio, which is R, you will divide it, choose any two consecutive terms. I prefer to choose the first two numbers, so it will be negative 6 divided by 2, which equals negative 3, so the answer is B. To evaluate 2 times the matrix 3, 4, 1, 0 minus 3 times 1, negative 1, 0, and 1, just multiply 2 times each element inside the first matrix, so it will be 2 times the 3, which equals 6, 2 times 1, which equals 2, 2 times 4, which equals 8, and 2 times 0, which equals 0. This is plus, we will multiply negative 3 times each element inside the matrix, so negative 3 times 1 equals negative 3, negative 3 times negative 1 equals 3, and we have 0, and this one, it will be negative 3. Then add the corresponding elements. Okay, so 6 plus negative 3, which equals 3, and 8 plus 3, which equals 11, 2 plus 0 equals 2, and 0 plus negative 3, which equals negative 3. The probability that a customer pays the bill online given that the customer is male. First of all, we have all the number of males for the online and cash. It will be 12 plus 8, so write in the denominator 12 plus 8. Then write down the number of online bill online, so it will be 12. So the answer is 12 over 20. We can simplify it. Divided by 4 equals 3, divided 4 equals 5, so the answer is 3 over 5, which is A. Simplify x times x squared plus 3x minus 18 over x plus 3 times x minus 4 divided by x times x plus 6 over x plus 3. In this question you have to factor the numerator, which is x squared plus 3x minus 18. Then keep this fraction, change divided into multiplication, then flip the second fraction again. Keep this fraction, then multiply, then flip the second fraction. Keep, change, flip. So first of all, write x, then we will factor. Write down the same denominator, which is x plus 3 over x minus 4. Let's go back and factor the numerator. X squared plus 3x minus 18, it will be x and x. 3 times 6, This is positive and this one is negative. Multiplied by what? Keep. So it will be, flip x plus 3 over x times x plus 6. Cancel numerator with denominator, x plus 3 with x plus 3, and we have x with x. So the answer is x minus 3 over x minus 4. So the answer is A. Plus 2x power 3 minus 2x squared minus 3x plus 2 over x plus 2. We'll use synthetic division to answer this question. Just change the sign of the number in the denominator. So it will be negative 2. And write down the coefficients. 1, then 2, negative 3. We have negative 2. Then we have negative 3 and 2. Write down the first number, which is 1. 1 times negative 2 equals negative 2. Their sum is 0. 0 times negative 2 equals 0. Negative 2 plus 0 equals negative 2. Negative 2 times negative 2 equals 4. Negative 3 plus 4, which equals 1. 1 times negative 2, which equals negative 2. Their sum equals 0. How can I write the final answer? It will be, or the quotient, it will be 1 x power 3 plus 0 times x squared. We will cancel it. Minus 2 times x plus 1 plus 0. So the final answer, it will be x power 3 minus 2x plus 1. Find x in the rhombus at that rhombus. Okay, we have this angle is 4x, and this angle, its measure equals 80 degrees. As you know that if you have two consecutive angles in the rhombus, the sum equals 180. So 4x plus 80, this is equals 180. Now we have an equation, and also we can find the value of x by subtracting 80 from both sides. So we have 4x equals 100, then divided both sides by 4, so x equals 25. So the answer is C. Similar, the perimeters are 32 and 24, and the length of the side of the bigger triangle is 8. Find the length of the corresponding side in the other triangle. As you know that if you have two similar triangles, it means all sides of both triangles, the corresponding sides are proportional, and also the perimeter both are proportional. So we can write down the perimeter of the first triangle, which is 32, over the second one, which is 24. This is equal the given side 8 over the corresponding one, which equals 8. Now we can use cross multiplication to find the value of x. So x equals 8 times 24 divided by 32. Divided 8 equals 1, divided 8 equals 4, 24 divided by 4, which equals 6. So the answer is A. Find x such that the matrix 8, negative 2, x and x plus 1 does not have inverse. Does not have inverse, it means that the determinant for this matrix equals 0. How can we find the determinant? Just multiply 8 times x plus 1 minus negative 2 times x. Negative 2 times x, which is negative 2, this is equals 0 because it has no inverse. So 8 times x, then 8 times 1, 8 times x equals 8x plus 8 times 1, which is 8. Negative, it will be positive 2x. This is equal 0. Now we have 10x equals negative 8. Means x equals negative 8 divided by 10. So it will be 4 divided 2 equals 4 with a negative sign over 5. So the answer is negative 4 over 5, which is B. X equals x minus 4 over 3. First of all, write it the form y equals x minus 4 over 3. Then write it down switch between x and y, so it will be x equals y minus 4 over 3. Now we want to isolate y, so using cross multiplication, this is over 1, so y minus 4 times 1, which is my y minus 4, and the 3 times x, which equals 3x. By adding 4 for both sides, it means y equals 3x plus 4. So the answer is 3x plus 4, which is A. In this question, we want to evaluate log 10 to the base 1000, right? Log 10 to the base 1000, this is equals x. Now we will change from the logarithm form into exponential form. So we have the base which equals 1000, okay, and we have the exponent which is x. This is equals 10. Okay, so we can rewrite 1000 into 10 power 3 x. This is equals 10, and we have the base equal the base, so the power equals the power, or the exponent equals the exponents. So we can write 3x equals 1, divided both sides by 3, so x equals 1 over 3, so the answer is B. This question, we want to find the inverse of the matrix 3, 5, 1, and 4. First of all, we will find the determinant for this matrix, which is A. So it will be 1 and 4. We will multiply 3 times 4, which equals 12, minus 1 times 5, which equals 5. So it will be equals 12 minus 5, which is 7. Okay, so the inverse, it will be 1 over the determinant, which is 7. And write down the matrix again. We have 4 elements. Just switch between 3 and 4. It will be 4 and 3. And keep 1 and 5, but with opposite signs. So it will be -5 and -1. So the answer is B. Find case such that f of x is continuous at x equals 1, and we have f of x equals 2x power 2 plus 7 when x is greater than or equals to 1, and kx minus 1 when x is smaller than 1. In this question, we will just plug in x equals 1 and put both sides are equal. So it will be 2 times 1 squared plus 7. This is equals k times 1 minus 1. So 2 times 1 power 2, which equals 2, plus 7, which equals 9. This is equals k times 1, which is k minus 1, by adding 1 for both sides. So we have k equals 10. In this question, we want to find x minus y, and we have a matrix which is a 3, 2, 5, 3, plus 2 times 4 minus 1, 10, and the 3. This is equals 2x plus 1, 0, 25, and y minus 1. We will first the corresponding elements for each, or we can calculate the left hand side. Both are right, so I think it's better to calculate the left hand side for both. So it will be 3. We have 3, 2, 5, 3. This is plus, we will multiply times 2, which is 8, 20, -2, and 6. So add both matrices, add the corresponding elements. So 3 plus 8, which equals 11, 2 minus 2, which equals 0, 5 plus 20, which equals 25, and the 3 plus 6, which equals 9. This is equals the right hand side, which is 2x plus 1, 0, 25, and y minus 1. Now we can compare both the corresponding elements. So we have the first element, which is 11, equals 2x plus 1. Now we can find the value of x. It means 2x equals 10, so x equals 5. For the second one, we have this is y minus 1, and this is 9. So we have y minus 9, minus 1 equals 9, so y equals 10. In this question we want to find x minus y, so it will be 5 minus 10, which equals -5, so the answer is D. Find the average rate of f of x equals -x power 3 plus 3x on the interval -2 and -1. As you know that the average rate, this is the same like the slope, so the average rate equals f of x2 minus f of x1 over x2 minus x1. So x2 which equals -1 and x1 which equals -2. So first of all we will find f of x2. We will plug in the value of x2 which is -1 in this equation, so it will be -1 power 3 plus 3 times -1 minus the second one which is f of -2 minus -2 power 3. I will complete the question here, plus 3 times -2. All of this over what? Over -1 plus 2. Okay, as you know that this is x2 and x1 which equals -2, and negative it will be positive. By calculation the final answer will be equals -4, so the answer is C. Find the average rate of a change for the function f of x equals root x plus 1 and the period 3 and 8. So we have f of x which equals root x plus 1, and we have an interval which is 3 and 8. This is x1 and this is x2. And we have a rule which is f of x2 minus f of x1 over x2 minus x1. This rule to find the average rate of a change. So by plugging f of x2, it means root x2 which equals 8, so it will be 8 plus 1. This is minus root x1 which equals 3, so it will be 3 plus 1 over x2 minus x1, it means over 8 minus 3. So by calculating the numerator we have root 8 plus 1 which is 9, root 9 which equals 3. This is minus root 4 which equals 2 over 5. So it will be 3 minus 2 which equals 1 over 5, so the answer is C. In this question we want to find f dash of x. F of x equals the 9th root of f of x raised to the power of 5. So we have f of x equals the 9th root of x power 5. We can change this radical form into exponential form by using inner over outer, so it will be x power 5 over 9, inner over outer, so it will be 5 over 9. Now we can find f dash of x. Just write down f multiply 5 over 9 times the coefficient which equals 1, so it will be 5 over 9. Write down x and then subtract 1 from the power, so 5 over 9 minus 1 which equals -4 over 9. So the answer is what? 5 over 9. We have a negative power, right? So we will write x raised to the power of 4 over 9 in the denominator. So write here x. And then we have a rule which is inner over outer. So we have 4, and this is the 9th root. So the final answer, it will be 1 times 5 which is 5 over 9 times the 9th root of x over 4. Check the answers. We have the answer is D, yes. Segment BD is perpendicular bisector. Find x. So we have perpendicular bisector. It means the length of AB equals the length of BC. So we have 6x plus 3. This is equals 4x plus 9. Subtract 4x from both sides, so we have 2x. So this is equals 9 minus 3 which equals 6. So it means x equals 3. So the answer is A. G of x equals 16 raised to the power of x minus 2, and f of x equals log x to the base 2. Then We want to find f times g of x. This is called composite function. It will be f of g of x. How can we really solve this kind of questions? Just write down f and write down g of x. We have g of x equals 16 raised to the power of x minus 2. So write it 16 raised to the power of x minus 2. Now we want to find f of 16 raised to the power of x minus 2. Then check the second function and write in the place of x 16 raised to the power of x minus 2. So it will be log, write down the base, which is 2. Then in the place of x, write 16 raised to the power of x minus 2. Know that in this type of questions, you have to write this number is 2 raised to the power of raised to the power. This is to cancel 2 with 2, which equals log 2 to the base 2, which equals 1. So we can rewrite 16 as 2 raised to the power of 4 times x minus 2. Okay, now we can write this exponent at the front of log here. So it will be 4 times x minus 2. This is times log 2 to the base 2. And as we said before, log 2 to the base 2 equals 1. And multiply 4 times x, which equals 4x. And 4 times negative 2, which equals negative 8. So the final answer is 4x minus 8, which is C. X f sine negative 1 times cosine x equals pi over 6. Now, how can we find the value of x? In this question, we will just multiply both sides times sine x. You know why? Because sine x will be cancelled with sine negative 1. So we will multiply just both sides times sine x, like this. Sine x, or sine and sine. Now we can cancel sine with sine negative 1. It means cosine x equals sine pi over 6. And you know that sine pi over 6, which equals half. So cosine x equals half. What angle which has the cosine equals 1 over 2 means x equals 60. And you know that x in radian, which is pi over 3. As you know that pi is 180. 180 divided by 3, which is 60. So the answer is A. Evaluate the limit when x tends to negative 2 for 4x power 3 plus 1 over x minus 5. Just plug in the value of x and the limitation. So it will be 4 times negative 2 raised to the power of 3 plus 1 over minus 2 minus 5. So it will be 4 times negative 8 plus 1 over negative 7. So it will be negative 31 over negative 7, which equals 31 over 7. So the answer is D. Where f of x is undefined, we have f of x equals 1 over x plus 4 plus 5. In this function, this is called rational function. We will just search for the zeros of the denominator. Just put the denominator equals 0. So it will be x equals negative 4. So the answer is negative 4, which is C. Minus cosine squared theta times sine squared theta. As you know that we have a rule which is sine squared theta plus cosine squared theta. This is equals 1. So we can rewrite it sine squared theta equals 1 minus, by subtracting cosine theta from both sides, 1 minus cosine squared theta. So we can replace 1 minus cosine squared theta, which is sine squared theta, and we have also another one which is sine squared theta. So sine squared theta times sine squared theta equals sine raised to the power of 4 theta. So the answer is B. What is the order of the matrix? We have a matrix and we want to find its order. Just count the number of rows, 1, 2, 3, so it will be 3, times the number of columns, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So its order or its dimension is 3 times 5, which is A. So the answer is A. L, perpendicular to the line y equals negative 1 over 5x plus 4 at the point 0 and 4. You know that the relation between the two perpendicular lines, the relation between the two slopes, the product equals negative 1. You know that this is the slope of the first line. If the slope of the second line is m2, it will be, we will flip and change the sign, so it will be 5 over 1, and change the sign of negative, it will be positive, so it will be 5. Now we can write the equation of the second line. It will be y equals the slope, which is 5 times x, plus the y-intercept, it passing through the point 0 and 4. You know that the y-intercept, it means x equals 0, so the y-intercept, it will be equals 4. So y equals 5x plus 4. Y equals 5x plus 4, so the answer is A. ABC, and we have measure of angle B equals 45 degrees, and the measure of angle E equals 30 degrees, and the length of AC equals 8 root 2, and we want to find the length of BC. In this question, if we have two angles and one side, and we want to find the length of any side of the triangle, we will use something which is called the sine law. What is the sine law? Just put sine A over the corresponding side for A, which is BC. This is equals sine the other angle, which is 45B, over the corresponding side, which is AC. So write down the numbers. So we have sine A, which is 30, over BC. This is equals sine 45 over 8 root 2. Using cross multiplication, so we have BC equals, we'll multiply 8 times root 2. This is times sine 30, which equals half, over sine 45, which equals root 2 over 2. Now, how can we simplify something like that? Just write down 8 root 2. This is times 1 over 2. And we have the denominator root 2 over 2. Put the denominator of the denominator on the numerator, so it will be times 2. I'll write down root 2. Now we can cancel. So the answer is 8, which is C. Triangle ABC, the big one. In this question, we have DF, which its length is 2, and equals half the length of the corresponding side, which is BC. So the length of BC equals 4. Also for EF and AC, the length of AC, it will be 8, and the length of DE equals half the length of the corresponding side, which is 6. But we have an easy method to find the perimeter. Find the perimeter of the small one, then multiply it times 2. 2 plus 4, which equals 2 plus 4 plus 3. Then multiply the answer times 2 to find the perimeter of the bigger one. So it will be 2 plus 4, which equals 6, plus 3, which equals 9 times 2. So the answer is 18, which is B. Graph of y equals x plus 2 raised to the power of 2 plus 3. You know that this is the vertex formula for the quadratic function, and we can find the vertex of the quadratic function using this formula. Just to change the sign of the first one, it will be negative 2, and keep the other one down, so it will be -2 and 3. Now we will search for the vertex of -2 and 3, and also we have the coefficient here is positive, so it will be upward. So -2 and 3, this is negative, this is the negative direction, and this is 3, the positive one, and it's upward, so it may be A. Okay, for B this is downward, for D this is downward, both wrong. For C this is positive direction, then positive direction. So X and Y and C both are positive, the coordinates of X and the coordinates of Y. So the answer is A for this question. Find the center of and the radius of the circle x minus 1 all squared plus y plus 2 all squared. This is equals 9. As you know that the equation of the circle is what? Is x minus h squared plus y minus k squared. This is equal to the radius squared. It means if we want to find the center, just change the sign inside for h and k. So it will be h and k. And take the square root of the left hand side. This is to find the radius. So in this question, just put the center, which is change the sign, it will be positive 1, and for the other one we have 2, it will be -2. And to find the radius, just take the square root of the right hand side, which is 9, so the radius length equals 3. So the center is 1 and -2, and the radius equals 3, so the answer is C. Question, we want to find the f of dash of x, and we have f of x which equals x plus 1. As you know that to find the first derivative for x it will be 1, and the derivative for the constant it will be 0. So the answer is f of dash of x equals 1, which is B. 16 to the base x equals 4. Now we have log 16 to the base x, this is equals 4. Now we will change from the logarithm form into exponential form. So it will be the base raised to the power of 4. So it will be x raised to the power of 4. This is equal 16. And we know that we can rewrite 16 as 2 raised to the power of 4. Okay, so we have 4 equals 4 to even powers, so it means x equals 2. So the answer of this question, it will be B. Of the line tangent to the curve f of x equals 10x squared minus 3x plus 4 at the point 1 and 3. In this question, we will make 2 steps. So the first step is we will get the first derivative for this function. So f dash of x. Know that to find the first derivative, we just multiply 2 times the coefficient. So 2 times 10, which equals 20x, and subtract 1 from the power, so it will be power 1, minus, you know that the derivative of 3x, it will be 3, and the derivative for the constant, which is 4, equals 0. So f dash of x equals 20x minus 3. Then at the point, the second step, at the point 1 and 3, just put x equals 1. So it will be 20 times 1 minus 3. So it will be 20 minus 3, which equals 17. So the answer is B. Find the fifth term in the geometric sequence where the sequence is 18, 12, and 8. First of all, we will find the common difference. So R just divided 12 divided 18. Simplify, gives you 2/3. So to move from 18 to 12, we will multiply 18 times 2/3, which equals 12. And also to move from 12, we multiplied it times 2/3 to reach 8. How can we find the fourth term? Just multiply 8 times 2/3. So to find A4, we'll multiply 8 times 2/3. It gives you 16/3. How to find A5? Just multiply 16/3 times the common difference, which is 2/3. It gives you 16 times 2, which equals 32. and 3 times 3, which equals 9. So the answer is 32/9, which is C.